Good evening, you're watching Hungary Reports, kicking off Public Media M1's foreign language news hour. I'm Moshe Flum, thanks for joining us. Prime Minister Viktor Orbán received the new elected president of the European Council, comprised of the heads of state and government at the Carmelite Monastery. The Hungarian head of government and the Belgian politician Charles Michel, who will take office on the 1st of December, reviewed every important topic in the relations of Hungary and the EU, from immigration through the economic situation to foreign policy. They had mutually expressed their willingness to cooperate in order to find the right answers to the challenges that Europe is facing in the coming years. The Hungarian economy has showed another surprising figure. Exports rose by over 10% in September. This result is far better than what analysts had expected, so signs of a slowdown in Europe still cannot be seen in Hungary. In recent weeks, data of industrial production and high turnover of the shops have come as a surprise as well. Based on these outputs, Hungary's GDP may have increased by around 5% in the third quarter. The result will be public on Thursday.
According to the most recent data of the Hungarian Central Statistical Office, in comparison to last September, export has increased by 11% on a yearly basis. In Hungary, small businesses make up the greater portion of jobs that affect the economy, Balázs Szepesi said. Thus, 4 out of 5 of the Hungarian workforce are employed by small businesses. This also points to their ever-increasing role in the economy. The government would like to further strengthen this performance. This is why strategies have been worked on that are specifically geared towards small and medium-sized businesses. We have 2 main goals. Those that have successfully geared on to the National Division of Labor, that they can acquire better positions at higher levels, not just with sub-assemblies, but also perhaps with their own products as represented on the market. Our second goal is that those businesses that cannot take advantage of the opportunity to enter the international market, that they can learn and experience what it's like to sell abroad, Balázs Szepesi said. The current export data is a pleasant surprise for analysts otherwise. At the same time last week, the numbers of industrial production for September were made available, which were strong as well. They showed a growth of more than 11%. All of this can be attributed as good news before the third quarter of the GDP, which the Hungarian Central Statistics Office will reveal on Thursday. Gross national products increased by 5.2% in the second quarter, which counts as one of the largest growths in the European Union.
An action was announced by the State Secretary for Health, who called on everybody to quit smoking for a day in the country on the 21st of November. World Smokeout Day takes place on the third Thursday in November and aims to bring awareness to the prevention and the dangers of tobacco use. In recent years, the government has taken a number of measures to curb smoking, which foreign professionals consider exemplary as well. Despite the efforts, 27 out of 100 people still smoke regularly.
The number of smoking-related diseases is high in Hungary because a great number of people living in the country have been smoking for decades. It takes years to reduce the risks of smoking. But it is important for everybody who still smokes today to know that the day they put down their cigarettes, the risks start decreasing.
The recently completed National Port Development Plan would triple the production of water freight transport in the River Danube. According to the plan, the port of Komárom and the port of Csepel will be given an even more important role. The vessel, which is used for carrying out measurements and was put in service on Monday, is likely to be required for future developments. It can be used to map the Danube bed.
Cargo trains as well as ships arrive from all over Europe and from China to the free port in Csepel. This is one of the most significant commercial hubs of Hungary. In September, a mobile dam was implemented to strengthen the area so that transit can move along smoothly in a safe and predictable manner. The ship implemented by the Mohart Group helps this process. The Garda vessel carrying out measurements will examine the watercourse of the Danube. This is not only important in terms of the inner developments of the port, but also in terms of its accessibility, which is indeed essential to the citizens of Csepel, Szávó Stilkovics said. Development plans have been completed for the port of Csepel, the port of Komárom, as well as 20 other ports. Elaboration of development plans cost €1 million, which was financed for the most part by the European Union.
And that many should follow, because there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of challenges to tackle. This Danube needs to be used as a real alternative to roads.
Desiree Owen said, "The incentive of the Ami Dunánk, or Our Danube development plan, is that commercial goods could take an ever-increasing turn towards water routes. Therefore, in the future, they want to develop the ports with EU and government support and to get a wider scale of goods to be transported on the Danube."
The world's most prestigious meeting for museum professionals is held in the renewed Romanian Hall of the Museum of Fine Arts in Budapest. The participants said they were attracted by the Liget project, the renovation of the city park. One of the leaders of the international organization considers the Liget project fascinating and unprecedented throughout Europe. After more than 70 years, the Romanesque Hall was opened to visitors last October. Alongside other halls of the Museum of Fine Arts in Budapest, it was renewed by the Liget Budapest project.
The city as a touristic destination.
Since the Romanesque Hall has served as a venue for events and functions. On Monday, this is where the investment director of the Városliget Ltd., Attila Sági, held a presentation on the Liget Budapest project at the world's most prestigious museum construction congress. This is where unique cultural developments are taking place, Attila Sági said. Previously, the Congress was held in Amsterdam, Copenhagen, and Berlin in recent years. This year, however, it was brought to Budapest. This is thanks to the Liget Budapest project, as according to the organizers, the conference is held in a city where major museum constructions are taking place. The project has gained international attention. This October, the House of Hungarian Music was awarded the Best Public Building Award at an international real estate development competition. The Museum of Ethnography, which is being built on Dózsa György Street, was named one of the best public buildings in the world at the same competition last year.
What makes it unique are so many museums concentrated in a beautiful park setting, park that's already attracting a lot of people, and we think that the opportunity to bring people together in that kind of setting is unique. The Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. sits in a central park, as is Exposition Hall in Los Angeles. But we think this has got a very dynamic setting, and each building is very beautiful unto itself. And I think that's going to create something quite unique in the destinations of the world.
David Greenbaum said, László Bán, the ministerial commissioner of the Liget Budapest project, spoke of how such an event is a prime opportunity for the country, as experts from abroad can enhance the reputation of Hungary in the world. And furthermore, we can learn from them at the same time. We can learn from the experiences from the Arab world to America as well. Nearly 100 experts gathered here, and it is very important that many of them have never been to Budapest. Thus, they can get to know the project. They bring news of it elsewhere, as the fact that such developments exist in Budapest currently is incredibly important in the long run, László Bán said. Visitors of the Congress can view the exhibitions of the Museum of Fine Arts during breaks between talks. In the afternoon, those interested can become better acquainted with the constructions of the Liget Budapest project, the House of Hungarian Music, alongside the guidance of Japanese architect Sue Fujimoto, who designed the space. A presentation was held for young people on British-Hungarian relations by the UK's ambassador to Budapest in Szeged. The diplomat held talks with the rector of the university. He said that the science park being built on the outskirts of the city holds many opportunities for British investors. The ambassador also spoke of how, regardless of Brexit, the relationship between the countries can strengthen, especially in terms of economy, innovation and education.
These are areas where Britain is very strong. We have a very strong global reputation on science. We spend more on research and development than most countries in Europe. So these are important areas for us. And I think with Szeged, we see in Szeged at the university there is ambition to develop a stronger university, a science park, and there's also great potential.
Judasvíté's observation tower in Veszprém is not far from the city center and offers an exceptional view of the hills of Bakony. The 6.15-meter tall structure has a unique shape and displays the Fibonacci spiral. The layout of the tower is based on the Fibonacci sequence, the mathematical model that describes the natural phenomenon of growth and is also very dominant in nature. Ajka is preparing for winter. The town has already opened its ice skating rink. The covered ice tent will be expanded to an ice hall of over 5,000 square meters with a capacity of 1,500 people within a few weeks. However, children are already welcome every weekday afternoon. The colorful program, starting at 4 p.m. at weekends, offers surprises for children and adults alike. That's all for now. We'll be back tomorrow night at around the same time, and you can catch Hungary Reports online as well. Please stay tuned for our German, Russian, and Chinese language news. Thanks for watching. Take care. Good night.